and good evening to everybody here, and thanks for joining us. My name is Christiana, and I'm so pleased to be here tonight presenting Farmers Overseas Action Group. As a new member of the funding network, I can assure you of a good night out for lockdown. In these challenging times, I just love the fact that there are so many of you out there concerned still with making the world a better place and willing to spend your time and money on TFN projects. I'm a trustee of Farmers Overseas Action Group, which was set up by a group of farmers at the same time as Band-Aid in 1983. This galvanized support for countries in East Africa devastated by famine, and local farmers decided they wanted to do something to contribute. So FOAG began its work in Uganda, supporting several children's centres for disadvantaged children, many of whom had disabilities, as you can see in the slide. We visited regularly over the years and built solid relationships with the Franciscan sisters who run these children's centres. We funded buildings, water tanks, surgery, and sponsored secondary education over the years. However, FOAG is about farmers and it is about action. And so farmers are passionate about agriculture. So FOAG began working with subsistence farmers who are the backbone of the rural economy in Uganda, as in many places. Our ongoing Waste Less program works with farmers to store their crops safely and reduce waste. It has taken root, but what about a Grow More program to complement it? On our visit to Uganda in 2019, this new project, Grow More in Children's Centres, which I'm pitching tonight, fell into place during conversations with the sisters. The most compelling words came from Sister Margaret. She simply said, "After shelter from the elements, being able to feed the children is our constant challenge." I know this is obvious, but somehow was very shocking to me to forcefully realise their incredible lack of food security and what that must be like with so many vulnerable people to feed every day. We got a tiny taste of food insecurity through lockdown, some of us. Multiply that 1,000-fold, and there was no end to it. We came back searching for how FOAG could respond to this, and this project began to take shape. Each centre does have some land for farming, but here was the second problem. Soil fertility was very poor, and their yields were worsening. So our solution to both these problems was to introduce the sisters to Patrick Wallace-Ansa, who is a Ugandan agriculturalist who's been working with FOAG on our Waste Less project. He brings the vital elements of a compassionate heart and expertise in conservation agriculture farming practices, which are the solution to restoring soil fertility and sustainable agriculture. Conservation agriculture is widely practiced in East Africa and other parts of the world and is endorsed by the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization. And so the Grow More Centres project came into being last September 2019 to meet the dual challenges of food insecurity of the children's centres and their need to change agricultural practices in Uganda, starting with the centres' plots, together with 10 interested farming families around each centre to build a supportive and more resilient CA, community agriculture, community. FOAG recognises it is a long-haul project for all parties, as building enduring systemic change, particularly in agriculture, is slow. There is no quick fix. The project happens like this. Patrick visits each centre several times during each planting season. There are 2 planting seasons per year. He works with the sisters and trains their field supervisors in these new methods, from preparing the seedbed and sowing the seeds, right through to harvesting and safely storing the crop. He also established a vegetable garden to involve the students as much as possible, the able-bodied and those with disabilities. You'll be very moved to see children with extreme disabilities just loving helping with growing the crops. What have they achieved so far? We've already nearly completed 3 planting seasons. Overall, the centres have improved their yields of maize and beans and vegetables, and they're now able to feed their charges for varying lengths of time as a result. These crops, of course, were very valuable in lockdown, but we still have a way to go to work towards self-sufficiency. This pitch is to raise funds for the next planting seasons in 2021, the 2 planting seasons. The cost of a planting season for all 4 centres is £6,000. This includes all field costs, labourers, field supervisors, and Patrick the agriculturalist. When I asked Sister Margaret, who's a very forceful woman, what would improve the job for the field supervisor, she gave me these answers. A mobile phone to keep in touch with Patrick for advice, help his online learning, and keep in touch with their CA farmers. A bicycle to speed up travel between farms to supervise and support the CA farmers. And the last one, which really touched my heart, a waterproof coat so her field supervisor need not be late if it is raining. So big and small amounts are needed, and I hope we can raise pledges together tonight towards these costs. Thank you so much for listening and giving me this opportunity to share this project with you. Thank you.